When we had last left the Nameless One, well, their adventures continued with them finally reaching Ragpicker's Square, where they found all manner of people, a lot of them really nasty, actually. They also put in a new but old eyeball and also put on a new but old finger, which, of course, involved them ripping out their usual eyeball, or maybe not their usual eyeball. Ended up with them ripping out an eyeball, biting off a finger, and replacing them and all that good stuff. Anyway, they brought a cool seed to Mourns for Trees and found out that they were able to grow it just by thinking about it. And old Mebbeth would surely be most pleased. Now, it was time to head on back to Ragpicker's Square and maybe finally track down Farid. This is Planescape Torment. Welcome back. Let me unpause that, and we'll be on our way. Let's see. Do I want the northerly section? I think so. Over here. Right there.
I'm gone.
And we do need to keep an eye out for this Amaris person. Who, have I found? I might be conflating that person with the other mysterious A-named individual, Anna, who seems very important.
Well, what is it?
You've got a tail. Can you tell me where I am? Oh, I can talk about the alley. Oddly enough, south and west of the mortuary is an alley filled with heavily armed thugs. Know anything about that? Oh, aye. Well, maybe you'd best be asking them where old Stuttercrutch is. Truth. Enough of your lies. Tell me where Farid is, girl, or you'll soon number amongst the city's dead. Wait, you know where Farid is? How did I discern that? Well, what is it? Oddly enough? Enough of your lies. Tell me where Farid is, girl, or soon you'll number amongst the city's dead. Oh, I can bluff or truth here. Okay, farewell. I pike off to wherever you came from then. Farewell to you too.
Done.
Okay. Let's see. Is that how you spell it? A-M-Y? No. Amari. Okay. Somewhere in the hive. Yeah, I don't think I found this person then. I don't think so, at least.
I'm gone.
I think maybe it was just Anna who I was thinking it was. Right? I don't know. Now I'm kind of curiously wandering around. Oh shit. Hive thugs.
What's up?
Okay, let's taunt you.
Father of trolls.
Good. Let's get those toggled on.
Alright.
Lovely. And let's do a quick save and be on our way over here. My god. The portal is like whooshing big time. And we'll head over this way. Here's Ragpicker's Square.
Alright.
Maybe they were in the flop house? Let's just take a quick peek inside. No, that's Arlo. Someone else with an A name. Okay.
I'm gone.
Yeah. I guess we never met this person. I'm just conflating it with other people whose names begin with the letter A. Okay, and then we'll head over to the midwife's. Give her the herb. Hello, old Mebbeth. Old Mebbeth turns as you enter and gives you a skeptical eye. Your path brings ye back here, does it, child? I returned with those herbs you wanted. Now, maybe you can get this damn bramble patch off my wrist. Is that so? Mebbeth glances at the barbs that surround your wrist. If so, think it off then. Do so.
My journal.
Creaking and snapping, the black barbed branches unravel themselves from your wrist and form into a tangled ball of brush and twigs. It looks like a nest of dead black snakes. Mebbeth snorts. Think into a picture frame or some such. Something with more structure and less angles. Why all the mention of... I feel like angles comes up an inordinate amount of time in this game. You know, I feel like at every turn, there's something to do with angles, you know? I feel like more than what you would normally expect, there's some sort of fascination afoot here with angles. Okay, concentrate on the barbed ball, then imagine it as a picture frame. It's now a portal. The branched ball creaks, the twigs bending and twisting until the branches have bent themselves into a small picture frame, 2 handspans on a side. Almost unconsciously, you imagine shape the barbs to the back of the frame, so it can be hung from the wall easily, and, as an afterthought, you move the remaining barbs to the inside of the frame, so it can be picked up by the edges. How's that? Mebbeth stares at the frame for a moment, then cackles. Ha! Square enough it is! Good work, child, good work! She picks up the frame and scrutinizes it. This'll do nicely. Is that all you wanted it for? Aye, well, this is enough, she sniffs. Aye, but there was one thing I forgot to tell ye to fetch when you left last time. And I'll take you back to the it'll take you back to the Merchant's Square, it will. Look for the cloth seller, Giscorl. He has some rags of mine that he was supposed to wash, and long has it been since I first asked him to do it. I see. Look, I had some questions for you. You could have mentioned that before I left. All right, I'll be back. I'll go get it. All right, I'll be back. Okay, let's go do it.
Done.
I think we're just doing all of her household chores. Okay, up here. Then, over this way. And we want to go to the southwest portion.
I'm gone.
Keeping an eye out for anyone named Amaris.
Done.
Yeah, I think I've just imagined that this person exists. We should hit up the vermin place, too. No? Yeah, let's go there.
This is probably the worst place we can be in Sigil at the worst time.
Let's see if they'll buy our tails. Phineas T. Lort, check it out.
Aye, by the powers, stop creeping up on me like that.
He pushes his spectacles up on his nose and gives you a hard look.
And what is it I can do for you this time,
I could use what you have in your cash box, then I'll be going. Nothing today, farewell. We can rob them? Is that what that is? I had some questions.
And your questions would be?
I have some rat tails. I'd like to collect the bounty on them.
Excellent, most excellent.
Claps his hands together delightedly.
Let me see.
Turn in a rat tail, collect the bounty. Actually, I'll hold on to them for a while. I had some other questions. Yeah, here you go. Jeez, I have to go through all that dialogue for 1 copper? Phineas hums merrily as you complete the transaction.
Thank you, good sir. The city of Sigil and I appreciate your efforts on our behalf.
Thanks. If I get any more rat tails, I'll be back. I had some other questions. Okay. Maybe I can just remember the buttons I have to press. 1, 1, 4. 1, 1, 4. 1, 1, 4. 1, 1, 4. 1. Okay, and that's it. Alright, goodbye.
Alright.
Nailed it.
I'm gone.
Okay. And then we need Grizzle or Grizzle or whatever their name was. We talked to them before, I remember. There you are. Hello? Gizcoral turns to you. I, Gizcoral. He bows and spreads his trembling, scarred hands. I, Gizcoral. I'm here to pick up someone's wash. Mebbeth, the midwife. Ragpicker Square. Gizcoral blinks. Washcloth? Yes, Mebbeth. Ragpicker Square? Ragpicker? He taps his fingers as if counting something. I know. I remember. He holds up a trembling finger as if telling you to wait. Wait for him to fetch the wash. 500 XP. He comes back with a flattened mass of green rags, thin as paper, yet so stiff they look like they could double as wooden boards. The rags are so caked with a greenish lime starch that they look like it would take years of soaking to relax them. How many times did you clean these? Gizcoral washcloth. Starch cloth every 5th day. Washcloth, starch cloth every 5th day. His eyes flicker. Gizcoral wash many years. Always starch cloth on 5th day. Gizcoral's ritual. But they're ruined. Wash cloth is Gizcoral's ritual. His voice is flat, almost zombie-like. Must starch cloth every 5th day. What's the point of doing it every 5 days when they don't need... never mind. Just hand them over. Give cloth. He nods, then hands you the rags. They're heavy. It's like carrying an armload of bricks. I'll take them back to Mebbeth. Farewell. Are they actually heavy? Yeah, they're 15 pounds. This is a flattened mass of green rags, thin as paper, yet so stiff they look like they could double as wooden boards. The rags are so caked with greenish lime starch that they look like it would take years of soaking to relax them. Perhaps Mebbeth can find a way to salvage them, but you think that would be beyond anyone's abilities. I bet she wants them exactly that way.
All right.
Right? She's like, oh yeah, of course I need some heavily starched fucking green washcloths. That's my grass. That's grass for my house. Nameless One.
Yeah?
Let's see here. Let me do a little bit of this.
Oh, you alley-bred dog. You poxy bastard.
I can't lie. At least the early game part of this is slowly making me want to incorporate wash into my regular, like, vernacular. Like, calling something wash. Saying, like, that's a bunch of wash. You know, it is influencing me in a small, minor way.
All right.
Okay, let's head on up here. Ragpicker Square. This is a rag. I've picked it.
I'm gone.
We'll get you a nice bed. Come on, Cutter. Come on, rent a room from us. It's a nice room. There's a desk where you can update your journal. Yeah, I'm doing it now, too. I'm doing it now, huh? Fucking A. Alright. Let's do a quick save.
All right.
Old Mebbeth. Check a look. Mebbeth seems lost in twisting the black branched picture frame you made for her. She is squaring the edges and snapping off some of the barbed seeds on the branches. She suddenly notices you and sets down the frame. "Hi, child." I brought your wash. I think Giz Coral was a little heavy on the cleaning ritual, though. She takes the stacks of starched green rags from you, and she examines them critically. "At least they won't tear," she sighs, "or bend." Okay, maybe she didn't want them that way. What was with that cloth merchant, Giz Coral? His hands were all scarred, and he seemed slow. Mebbeth is still turning the cloth over in her hands, tapping it with her finger. "Well, child, sometimes one burns with the art, and other times the art burns ye." Is that what happened to him? That's what happened to Ignis, it sounds like. Mebbeth clicks her tongue. "Mayhap. There's some's for who using the art is like breathing. They strolls about with pointy hats and stinkweed pipes. Then there's hedge wizards and plain-touched gypsies and fortune-casters and half-seers and midwives who flicker with the art. Them have a harder time of it." And Giz Coral was one of them. Mebbeth nods. "Aye, so to speak. In some ways, he's no different now than he was. Addicted to habit and ritual he was." She sets down the stiff rags. They clunk as she places them on the floor. "Aye, now there's one last thing I need from ye, child." This better not involve me going back to the market, Mebbeth. Of course, what do you need? Mebbeth, this better not involve me going back to the market. "Oh! And if it does, child?" Mebbeth draws herself up and she glares at you. Even at full height, her head barely crests your shoulders. Mebbeth, it's a waste of time to keep traveling to the market for all these things, especially when you could have taken a moment and thought about everything you needed instead of sending me on the same errand 3 times. All I'm saying is, if you can't keep your head straight about what you need from the market, I doubt you can teach me about magic. Never mind, what do you need? Let's be a little confrontational, but not too much. We'll go with number 1. Mebbeth, it's a waste of time to keep traveling to the market for all these things, especially when you could have taken the moment and thought about everything you needed instead of sending me on the same errand 3 times. Mebbeth puffs up, her face turning turnip red. "Oh, aye? Is that your feelings on the matter, is it? If so, then leave. I'll tell ye I won't be wasting my time trying to shine light in that mule head of yours." "No, I'll do the errands. Just tell me, is there anything else you need me to pick up while I'm there?" All right. I spoke in haste. What do you need?" "Fine, I'm leaving. Farewell." "No, I'll do the errands. Just tell me, is there anything else you need me to pick up while I'm there?" Rule of 3s. "Only this. I need some inks for scribing. Some ingredients in one of me cookery books. I'll need you to fetch some from one of the merchants. Kosajai be her name." Very well. I'll go see if I can find her. But I had some questions first. All right, then. I'm off. Farewell.
Dated my journal.
Okay, let's do it. This is probably the third and final time, right? Let's see. Maybe this time I should sell off some of the rings and bracelets we've been accumulating too. Okay.
Done.
Here we go, over here. I always feel iffy about when games do this. When they give you a task that it's meant to be kind of ironically annoying. You know? Because at the end of the day, you are still having to do the annoying task. Right? Even if it's a little tongue-in-cheek and they're acknowledging like, yeah, isn't this annoying? It's like, yeah, buddy, it sure is. This is annoying. This does kind of suck. I thought this was a video game. Alright. But also in saying that, given the timing and date, like, I don't know. This would be a bit of an earlier version of that, right? This would be sort of the primordial, like, baseline template that people would use in games going forward. I think the worst of it, I remember, is in World of Warcraft, when I played a bunch of that. Every so often there would be like a quest or whatever where it would be like, yeah, this is an annoying quest, huh? This guy out here in the Grand, he's gonna want you to kill so many fucking creatures. This fucking Ernest Hemingway stand-in character we got, yeah, he's like Ernest Hemingway, huh? And he's annoying. That's right. Now get out there and kill 50 elephants.
All right.
Okay. Let's see, over here, we need to talk to you, Kasajai. The old woman gives you a gummy smile.
Some fish, my child, fish heads.
A cloying fish smell surrounds her. Mebbeth said you sell ink. She sent me to purchase some.
Ink,
she chuckles.
Nay, sir, I sells no ink. I sells just fish.
Are you sure? Mebbeth, the midwife in Ragpicker Square, mentioned you specifically.
Well, Kasajai was me dam's name.
Me dams?
And me granddam's name. So could be any of us. Yet they're both in the dead book. So only this Kasajai matters. No idea what she's on about. A midwife in Pickers Square, you say?
She thinks for a moment.
Don't know her, I don't.
So you don't have any ink? Well, I can't say that's much of a surprise. I swear Mebbeth is having me run in circles. Well then, she said you would be able to help me, but if that's not the case, never mind. Let's be nice to Kasajai. Kasajai doesn't deserve to hear us, like, be frustrated. She said you would be able to help me, but if that's not the case, never mind.
Now hold on! Your midwife's friend's not all wrong. I know how ye can get ink, but it may not be the ink you're looking for. The ink I'm thinking of bleeds from the gills of a Bragata fin, it does.
This Bragata fin, it bleeds ink. But you don't have this Bragata fin, right? It bleeds ink? She frowns.
Aye. Thing is, that fish is not for eating. It's got a horrible taste. Scalds the tongue. You can ask Miriam. She pitches her fish sale down the street a southerly way.
She cackles. She cackles.
She might have one of them fish she needs in her pool.
Okay, I'll go seek her out then. Farewell.
Updated my journal. All right.
Yeah, and to be clear, this isn't nearly as bad as killing 50, like, mountain lions or whatever. And collecting their pelts or whatever that fucking guy in the Grand wanted me to do all those years ago. It was terrible. It was terrible. Okay. Hello, Miriam. Or Mir-am.
Well met again, sir. What can I do for ye?
Have you heard of a Bragata fin? I was told it bleeds ink from its gills. She blinks and nods.
Aye, that fish. That fish is a strange one, it is. Not many have heard of it, unless it want to eat it. Difficult to kill, and even in death, it still seems to live. Not many want to latch their teeth around something that still rides.
Do you have one?
Updated my journal.
Aye, but the ink, you'll need something to carry it in. Have you a bowl or cup, perchance?
Mort, turn upside down. I'm gonna carry it inside of Mort. Great. I'll go look for one, then I'll be back. Where do I get a bowl?
This is probably the worst place we can be in Sigil at the worst time.
Okay. Journal. Maybe one of the merchants in the square is selling one I can use. Okay. Oh, wasn't there someone who sold a tankard or whatever? Were they another one of the named ones? Maybe it's you over here. Galha. Galha flashes you his disturbing, sharp-toothed grin and rattles a pair of bone dice in hands.
You've returned to play a game, yes?
No, farewell.
Done.
Who the fuck would have a hootenanny? Jumbo Lim Lim. Oh, you! Yeah, doesn't this merchant have a whole cart full of shit like that? Okay. The woman smiles warmly at your approach.
Hello again, sir, and what would you like to purchase this day,
What are you selling right now?
I sell plates, cups, jugs, tankards, cutlery, and the like, sir. All of quality, sir, the finest.
She steps back and lifts the lid of the crate on the wagon behind her.
Please look over my goods. Should you have any questions, feel free to ask.
I need something to hold ink in. Do you have a tankard or a goblet or for sale? She nods.
Oh, yes, many kinds. They range in price from a few coppers to several hundred.
Actually, I'm looking for the cheapest one you have. She raises an eyebrow. She reaches into a crate at her side, then throws a battered-looking tankard at you. It's covered in dents, and its handle looks like it's about to fall off. This one looks like it was used on someone's skull. She smiles slightly. It'll do, thanks.
Updated my journal.
It was a free one.
I'm gone.
Okay. Let's see, I'm gonna sell you my crap here. There we go. Yeah, I guess I got it all. Fantastic.
I'm gone.
Okay, and then back here, can I look at the cup? Battered tankard. This battered tankard is covered with dents and its handle looks ready to fall off. Judging from the size of some of the dents, it looks like it was used to bash in someone's skull. Okay, down here. Hello?
Well met again, sir. What can I do for ye?
I brought a tankard. Can I get the ink from the fish in it? She nods and plucks a fish from her pole. It twitches as she grabs it, then starts lashing about as she begins to twist it like a rag. She wrings it until bluish-black ichor begins to trickle from the fish's gills. When your tankard is almost full, she relaxes her grip and throws the twitching fish into a sack at her side. Thanks and farewell.
Updated my journal. All right.
Okay. Can I say anything to Kosejai? No, okay. Farewell.
I'm gone.
Just while I'm here. On the bright side, I have regenerated a shitload of health while doing this errand running. Okay.
Done.
Well, these assholes are back again.
What? Stupid yabo.
Stupid yabo.
Oh, you alley-bred dog.
I'm sorry, but the stupid yabo is like actually by far my favorite one.
Carcass.
I hope a yabo isn't like a real thing. I've just assumed that it's like some sort of made up goofy term. Right. I in saying that, have I just now like on video said like, oh yeah, I really like the one that's like extremely bigoted. My favorite one is the one that's the most bigoted of all. Right, hopefully calling someone a stupid yabo isn't real bad. I mean, we just came back from someone who's talking about like fish heads a lot, right? Like, come on. All right, let's go over here. Down this way. Hello, old Mebbeth? Mebbeth is tugging at the mass of greenish lime starched rags you brought from Gith Coral. She seems to be purposefully fraying the edges, as if to peel them apart somehow. When she hears you approach, she turns.
Aye, child.
Here's that ink you wanted. 1,000 XP. Mebbeth takes the tankard of ink from you, then sniffs it.
Prime ink. Fresh it is, aye.
She nods at you.
You've done well, child. All I've asked. Now I ask ye again, after all you've seen, do ye still want to learn the art?
Yes, after all, the guiding goal of your errands was to test my persistence, was it not? Nah, I don't think the art is for me. Farewell, Mebbeth. Yeah, sure, why not? Mebbeth smiles and nods.
Yes, mayhap, child, mayhap.
And that's not all. You knew who I had to see to accomplish each errand, didn't you? Very well, I still want to learn the art. And that's not all. You knew who I had to see to accomplish each errand, didn't you? Mebbeth nods again, slower this time. We've got like a Mr. Miyagi situation going on.
Mayhap, child, mayhap. If'n so, what did your senses tell ye about them?
Mourns for Trees showed me that my beliefs affect the world around me. A Gith Squirrel taught me that ritual is a wasted effort if the purpose of the ritual is ignored. Miriam taught me that no matter how much I think I know, there is still much I can learn from another's eyes. How did Miriam teach me that? What? I get the other ones, but how did Miriam teach me that? No matter how much I think I know, there is still much I can learn from another's eyes. Maybe by virtue of, like, we weren't able to get ink, but she knew that there was a fish that had ink come out of its gills? Maybe? Maybe that's it? Okay, yeah, maybe. Mebbeth is silent for a moment. Then she walks slowly over to you and touches you on the cheek.
Oh, child,
she sighs.
You'll be a master sorcerer one day, you will. You have the knowing of it yet. You've come to old Mebbeth for help, ye have. What could a midwife teach such a one?
Much, Mebbeth. I want to learn all you have to teach. She taught me 2,000 XP worth of something, and 3 items that are unusable.
So you'll walk the path then?
Mebbeth pauses.
Well, first things firstly. Just having the knack for the art isn't enough. You need some means of giving it focus. Usually spells. The spells are usually in a book. So the art demands you have a spell book, or it's like afore you can cast spells. Can you read?
I don't know. Yes. Can I read? I think I can. I don't know. I'm gonna say I don't know.
Then let's test it. Can you read this?
Mebbeth draws forth a small tattered card. It looks like a recipe. Examine the recipe.
Here, can you read this?
Mebbeth draws forth a small tattered card. It looks like a recipe. Okay. Maybe I can't read. Strangely enough, the writing on the recipe swims before your eyes, each symbol twisting out of focus whenever you try and read it. Study the symbols and see if you can decipher them. I give up, Mebbeth. What does this writing mean? I'll try to decipher them. You study the symbols intently. No matter how hard you concentrate, however, the writing on the recipe seems to flow out of focus, bending and twisting like a nest of snakes. It makes your eyes hurt just trying to follow their movements. Keep studying the symbols, try and puzzle out their meaning. I give up. I'll keep trying. You study the symbols for a few more minutes. Mebbeth silently watching you. Okay, I'm gonna keep doing it. Okay. I guess my int is too low. This is probably a low int situation. I give up, Mebbeth. What does this writing mean? Oh. As you're about to give up and turn away, you relax your eyes and take in the page all at once. As you do, the symbols suddenly bleed together. The recipe lists measurements, ingredients. It appears to be some sort of minor divination. This is a minor divination, isn't it? It looks like it's a spell that allows the user to see the nature of an item, to see whether it's enchanted or not. Mebbeth's eyes widen.
Who are ye to test old Mebbeth so? Are ye some fiend?
What's wrong? No, well, not to my knowledge, what's wrong? Some have called me so, but not in my presence. Is there something wrong? No, well, not to my knowledge, what's wrong?
Dated my journal.
Well, not expecting it, was I?
She nods at the recipe, then plucks it out of your hand.
What ye see, it's written in the language of the art. If ye're not a mageling yet, it should be whole a swell jumble, a mishmash.
She snaps her finger.
Yet clear as crystal ye pluck the sense of it right up. Mayhap ye tell old Mebbeth why that is.
I don't really know. I just knew what it said. I think I may have known once, but forgot. Seeing the symbols just jarred my memory. Yeah, I probably knew before.
Or else a natural gift ye may have. No matter. You've just shaved seasons off of your learning, ye have.
Mebbeth harumphs.
And I've been looking for someone to handle the chores round here, I had.
Maybe it's just as well then. If you need help with anything around here, you can still ask. It's the least I can do in exchange for you teaching me. Yeah, I guess.
No, don't worry yourself about that. She frowns. Well, you can read spells well enough, but spells are no good to you without a book to put 'em in.
Do you have one? I need my journal. Mebbeth glances around the hut, and then she catches sight of the black, barbed picture frame you made. She picks it up carefully and studies it.
This'll do.
That thing? It's just a frame.
Ah, but so ye, child.
Still holding the frame, she picks up one of the starched rags you got from Gith. With a yank, she pulls off the greenish, starched surface film. It flutters in the air like a wispy bit of cloth.
Whatever Gith uses in their wash, it works better than curing, stretching, and stoning does on a normal rag. Can't afford parchment, I can't.
Parchment. She takes the starchy film and pulls it over the black barbed frame, latching the rag's edges onto the hooks around the frame until it looks like a small greenish-black painter's canvas.
It's missing something.
Well, it needs something painted on it. She nods.
Aye, or written on it.
She takes the tankard of ink you've given her and sets it down next to her. She dips one of her fingernails into the tankard, then draws it out, mumbling to herself. She begins to scratch symbols onto the frame, one by one, still mumbling to herself. Wait.
All's done!
Mebbeth stands, drying her ink-stained fingernail on her robe. She tilts her head, regarding the strange framed page in front of her.
A page for your spell book it is.
She indicates you should pick it up. I take it.
Inside your spell book are your recipes. Your spells, if you will. As long as they sit in the book, though, they're just words.
She taps her head.
The art demands ye pluck the magic out of the book and put them in your attic, your head, afore you can stop their power.
Okay, go on.
You put them in your attic by studying them, memorizing them. You usually need to rest before you can do this, though. Any questions?
No, Mebbeth. Yes, explain that again. I think I understand the basics, Mebbeth. Farewell. No, I don't have any questions.
Oh, no questions, eh? Well now, you should have questions. You knows all about how to memorize spells, do you? You're a sharp one. You sure don't need any more of Mebbeth's words, old gobbling up your precious time. You're a master sorcerer already.
Forgive me, Mebbeth. I meant no questions were on what you'd said. Please explain how to memorize spells. Your attitude is trying my patience, Mebbeth. I think I understand the basics. Mebbeth, farewell. Forgive me, Mebbeth. I meant no questions on what you'd said. Please explain how to memorize spells.
All right, then. Here's a doc of how do you memorize the spells. Pick the spells you want to stick in your head from your spell book afore you goes to sleep. When you wake in the morn, they'll be buzzing in your head like flies, ready to be let out.
How many spells can I cast? I think I understand the basics, Mebbeth. Farewell. How many spells can I cast?
You can cast only one, maybe up 2 spells afore needing to rest again. As a tiny flitting mageling, there isn't much room in your attic. So use your spells wisely until you get wiser in the art. As your power increases, you'll get more room in your attic for spells.
Alright, go on.
You can only cast spells you've memorized. So if you want to use the art to say, mend something twice, you need to memorize a spell. How many times?
I mean, twice, right? Technically, it would make sense to me that I would only need to do it once. But I do need to do it twice. Like, as far as the game mechanic works, right? Twice. Mebbeth nods.
Aye, twice. Right enough.
How can I get more spells?
Updated my journal.
Mebbeth shrugs.
Keep your eyes and ears out for learning. Even common folks might have some minor magics to teach. Here's also scrolls, recipes, books, and even some stranger items that have spells inscribed on them. If you find just one, just examine it close and copy it into your book if you want it.
Okay, got it.
I can also show you more spells if you return, especially when you've a little more of the planes in you.
Okay, I appreciate it, thanks.
Before you go, child, you need some magics for you to whet your appetite.
Mebbeth rummages in her robe, then pulls forth 3 small recipes, which she passes to you.
You should copy these into your book, so they can go into your attic as soon as possible.
Updated
Thanks,
my
Mebbeth.
journal.
Wow, 5,000 XP, holy shit.
Wait, there's more.
Mebbeth fishes a tiny bundle of black cloth from her apron and unrolls it, producing a pair of amber earrings.
These'll protect you on your travels, child. I no longer wear them myself, so go on ahead and take them.
Thanks again.
All right, child, don't tarry here any longer. One such as ye has other ways to spend one's time rather than hang around old Mebbeth.
Now, come on, Mebbeth, you're not old. You're not so old. Aye, that be the truth. I've spent too much time here already. Come on, Mebbeth, you're not old.
Ha, you flatterer! Your tongue is so lined with silver-edged shame a batitsu. Get you hence.
Thanks for everything, Mebbeth.
Ha, you can thank me by not playing the addle cove with what you've learned. The art's damned many a fool who sought to bend it in ways the art weren't meant to bend. Now get along with ye.
Farewell.
I feel stronger.
Oh. Am I still a fighter? I am a mage. Wow. Okay. Let's see. Recipe chromatic orb. Identify. Blood bridge. What is blood bridge? This tattered card has the recipe for the ingredients and incantations necessary for the necromantic spell Blood Bridge. This spell allows the caster to share a portion of his life with others, weakening himself but strengthening others. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense that we'd be into necromancy, given the regen aspect. Amber earrings. +2 to AC. Memorize 2 additional first-level mage spells. Usable only by mages, usable only by the Nameless One. These earrings are made from hardened sap of the razor vine. When properly prepared, items made from this substance can be enchanted with powerful spells of protection. Okay. Sure. Maybe I should be stashing something in... Well, she doesn't have a container here, unfortunately. Okay.
Done.
Sure. Should I speak with Dak'kon, then? I think someone wrote in telling me that I should speak with Dak'kon once I learn how to be a mage.
What is your will?
Dak'kon turns to you, his eyes like polished coal. His blade mirrors his eyes for a moment as you address him. Then he nods. There are things I would know, Dak'kon. Okay. I will hear you. Can I talk to you about your teachings? Dak'kon waits. I wish to give up my current profession and resume the study of weaponcraft, Dak'kon. Can you train me? Can you teach me anything of the art, Dak'kon? Actually, I had some other questions instead. Never mind, Dak'kon. Let's move on. Can you teach me anything of the art, Dak'kon? Know that the way of the people is not the same as the art you have come to know. It is not the energy that gives strength. It is knowing the self that gives strength. The teachings of Zethermon speak of such things. Would you teach me the ways of Zethermon, Dak'kon? Do you know what you have asked? The texture of Dak'kon's blade flows until it becomes as stone. To walk the path of Zethermon, you must know of the people. The knowing of such things by one not of the people is a difficult matter. There are those not of the people who have heard the way of Zethermon, but they do not know the way. Dak'kon, I want to know of the people and know Zethermon's teachings. I believe there is wisdom to be learned in such things. If you'll teach me, I will learn. I had other things I would know, Dak'kon. Never mind, then. Okay, yeah, I want to know.
Updated my journal.
Know that I have heard your words, and I shall test them. To learn, you must know the people. To know the people, you must know the unbroken circle of Zerthamon. Dak'kon holds up the stone disc in his possession, and his spider-like fingers hook into its sides. There's a click, and the plates of the circle slide into a new configuration. He reverses the motion, sealing the stone. Know the first circle of Zerthamon is open to you. Study it, then I will hear your words. I will read the first circle then. In the meantime, I had some other questions, some other things I would know. Okay, I will examine it and speak with you again. Okay.
I cannot
So this
part
thing?
with that.
Use. Okay. This small round stone is the unbroken circle of Zerthamon. It is made up of a series of interlocking circles that fold out from one another. The complexity of the plates and the intricacy of their links prove the text was constructed by a master artisan. I will unlock the first plate as Dak'kon showed me. You mirror the motions that Dak'kon made upon the circle, and the plates give way at your touch, the rings sliding into a new configuration. Upon the rings are a series of symbols. The script is like no writing you have ever seen. It is a series of interlocking geometries, with circles predominating. Just looking at it, you know the symbols and know you can read them. Alright, I will read the first circle of Zerthamon. Know that we are the first people. Continue reading the symbols. Once all was chaos. The first people were thought drawn from chaos. When the first people came to know themselves, they were chaos no longer and became flesh. Continue reading the symbols. With their thoughts and knowing of matter, the people shaped the first world and dwelled there with their knowing to sustain them. Continue. Yet the flesh was new to the people, and with it, the people came not to know themselves. The flesh gave rise to new thoughts, greed and hates, pains and joys, jealousies and doubts. All of these fed on each other, and the minds of the people were divided. In their division, the people were punished. Continue reading. The emotions of the flesh were strong, the greed and hates, the pains and joys, the jealousies and doubts. All of these served as a guiding stone to enemies. In becoming flesh, the first people became enslaved to those who knew flesh only as tools for their will. No, these beasts were the Illithids. Continue reading. The Illithids were a race that had come not to know themselves. They had learned how to make other races not know themselves. I will continue reading. They were the tentacled ones. They lived in flesh, and saw flesh as tools for their will. Their blood was as water, and they shaped minds with their thoughts. When the Illithids came upon the people were a people no more. The people became slaves. Continue reading. The Illithids took the people from the first world and brought them to the false worlds. As the people labored upon the false worlds, the Illithids taught them the way of the flesh. Through them, the people came to know loss. They came to know suffering. They came to know death, both of body and mind. They came to know what it is to be the herd of another and have their flesh consumed. They came to know the horror of being made to feel joy in such things. Oh my God. Finish reading the circle. The unbroken circle is the knowing of how the people lost themselves and how they came to know themselves again. Slide the plates closed and seal the circle. Okay. Dak'kon, I've read it.
What is your will?
There are things I would know, Dak'kon. Okay. Can I talk to you about your teachings? Dak'kon waits. I wish to give up my current profession and resume the study of weaponcraft, Dak'kon. Can you train me? I've read the Unbroken Circle of Zerthamon. I want to speak to you more about the way of Zerthamon. Say that. What did you come to know? Strength lies in knowing oneself. I learned that once someone does not know themselves, they are lost. They become a tool for others. I learned that your people were once slaves to the Illithids. It seems they committed many crimes against your people. Never mind. I had other things I would know, Dak'kon. I'm still thinking over what I've read. We will speak later. Let's move on. I feel like the first one is going to be the correct choice, if there is one, but I'm curious if the second choice is also technically correct. Right? The first one gets more at the philosophical lesson, and the second one gets more at the historical lesson. Let's go with the historical one, because I kind of want to hear more about Illithids. Alright. I learned that your people were once slaves to the Illithids. It seems that they committed many crimes against your people.
Updated my journal.
Dak'kon's forehead creases into a frown. Then you have come to know nothing. You are one who hears the words and does not know them. Shit. Okay. Very well. I will study the text again. In the meantime, I had other things I would know. Can I just immediately loop back into it? Yeah. Yeah, I'm not surprised that he would have wanted the philosophical answer. Okay. Strength lies in knowing oneself. I learned that once someone does not know themselves, they are lost. They become a tool for others.
Updated my journal.
300 XP. You have come to know the first circle of Zerthamon. You not only see the words of Zerthamon, you have come to know them. Dak'kon holds up the circle and hooks his fingers around the edges. There is a click, and the plates of the circle slide into a new configuration. He reverses the motion, sealing the stone. No, the second circle of Zerthamon is open to you. Study it, then I will hear your words. Okay. Sure, I will do that. Alright, well, let's do it. The small round stone is the unbroken circle of Zerthamon. It is made up of a series of interlocking circles that fold out from one another. The complexity of the plates and the intricacy of their links prove the text was constructed by a master artisan. Unlock the second circle. You slide the plates into the configuration Dak'kon showed you, and a new ring is revealed. The ring carries the same script as you read before, with the same geometries. You know the symbols, and know you can read them. Okay, read the second circle of Zerthamon. Know that flesh cannot mark steel. Know that steel may mark flesh. In knowing this, Zerthamon became free. Continue. Know that the tentacled ones were of flesh. They relied on the flesh and used it as tools for their will. One of the places where flesh served their will was the fields of husks on the false world of the Illithids. Continue. The fields were where the bodies of the people were cast after the Illithids had consumed their brains. When the brain had been devoured, the husks came to be fertilizer, to grow the poison-stemmed grasses of the Illithids. Zerthamon worked the fields with no knowing of himself or what he had become. He was a tool of flesh, and the flesh was content. Continue. It was upon these fields that Zerthamon came to know the scripture of steel. During one of the turnings, as Zerthamon tilled the fields with his hands, he came across a husk whose brain remained within it. It had not been used as food, yet it was dead. Continue. The thought that one of the husks had died without serving as food for the Illithids was a thought Zerthamon had difficulty understanding. From that thought came a desire to know what had happened to the husk. Continue. Embedded in the skull of the husk was a steel blade. It had pierced the bone. Zerthamon realized that was what killed the husk. The steel had marked the flesh, but the flesh had not marked the steel. Continue. Zerthamon took the blade and studied its surface. In it he saw his reflection. It was in the reflection of the steel that Zerthamon first knew himself. Its edge was sharp, its will the wearer's. It was the blade that would come to be raised against Gith when Zerthamon made the pronouncement of two skies. Continue. Zerthamon kept the blade from many turnings, and many were the thoughts he had about it. He used it in the fields to aid his work. In using it, he thought about how it was not used. Continue. The Illithids were powerful. Zerthamon had believed that there was nothing that they did not know. Yet the Illithids never carried tools of steel. They only used flesh as tools. Everything was done through flesh, for the tentacled ones were made of flesh, and they knew flesh. Yet steel was superior to flesh. When the blade had killed the husk, it was the flesh that had been weaker than the steel. Continue. It was then that Zerthamon came to know that flesh yielded to steel. In knowing that, he came to know that steel was stronger than the Illithids. Finish reading. Steel became the scripture of the people. Know that steel is the scripture by which the people came to know freedom. Okay. Slide the plate closed and seal the circle. Dak'kon, let's speak again.
What is your will?
Things I want to know, Dak'kon. Can I talk about your teachings? I've read the Unbroken Circle of Zerthamon. I want to speak to you more about the Way of Zerthamon. What did you come to know? I learned that not knowing something can be a tool, just like flesh and steel, if upon encountering it you attempt to know its nature and how it came to be. I learned that while tending the fields of the Illithids, Zerthamon learned of the nature of steel and how it could be used to defeat the Illithids. I'm assuming it's all going to be the more philosophical ones here. I learned that not knowing something can be a tool, just like flesh and steel, if upon encountering it you attempt to know its nature and how it came to be. 600 XP and I got an item. You have seen the words, and you have seen beyond them. You have come to know the second circle of Zerthamon. He takes a circle and with a deft motion he twists one of the links so one of the plates slides forth. But strangely enough, the stone still appears intact. He hands the plate to you. Meditate upon this teaching, and the knowing of it shall give you strength. When you have absorbed it, you shall know more. Very well, I will study this circle. Yet I would still know more of Zerthamon's teachings. Dak'kon's fingers feel around the edges of the stone circle, and he twists it clockwise, the links clicking until they have settled into a new configuration. He then reverses the motion, resetting the stone. The next circle of Zerthamon is open to you. Study it, then I will hear your words. Alright, very well, I will read it. Holy shit. Okay. We have a difference here now. I have one. Okay. Second Circle of Zerthamon allows the user to copy Scripture of Steel into Spellbook. No, that's what he has. Inscribed upon this circular stone plate is the Second Circle of Zerthamon. Oh shit, is this everything that we just read? It is. Okay. Broken Circle, I will use it. The small round stone is the Unbroken Circle of Zerthamon. It is made up of a series of interlocking circles that fold out from one another. The complexity of the plates and the intricacy of their links prove the text was constructed by a master artisan. Unlock the third circle. I wonder if there's 3. Rule of threes. You slide the plates into the configuration Dak'kon showed you and a new ring is revealed. The ring carries the same script as you read before, with the same geometries. You know the symbols and you know you can read them. Okay. Read the third circle. Zerthamon labored many turnings for the Illithid Arlathi twice deceased, and his partnership in the cavernous heavens of the false worlds. His duties would have broken the backs of many others, but Zerthamon labored on, suffering torment and exhaustion. A whole planescape worth of torment, I'm sure. Continue reading the symbols. It came to pass that the Illithid Arlathi, twice deceased, ordered Zerthamon before him in his many-veined Galleria. He claimed that Zerthamon had committed slights of obstinance and cowardice against his partnership. The claim had no weight of truth, for Arlathi only wished to know if flames raged within Zerthamon's heart. He wished to know if Zerthamon's heart was one of a slave or of a rebel. Yeah, a man chooses, a slave obeys. Would you kindly continue reading the symbols? Zerthamon surrendered to the Illithid punishment rather than reveal his newfound strength. He knew that were he to show the hatred in his heart, it would serve nothing, and it would harm others that felt as he. He chose to endure the punishment and was placed within the pillars of silence so he might suffer for a turning. Continue reading the symbols. Lashed upon the pillars, Zerthaman moved his mind to a place where pain could not reach, leaving his body behind. He lasted a turning, and when he was brought before Arlathi twice deceased, he gave gratitude for his punishment to the Illithid, as was custom. In so doing, he proved himself a slave in the Illithid eyes, while his heart remained free. Finish reading. By enduring and quenching the fires of his hatred, he allowed Arlathi twice deceased to think him weak. When the time of the rising came, Arlathi was the first of the Illithid to know death by Zerthaman's hand, and die a third death. Okay. Dak'kon?
What is your will?
There's some things I would know. How about your teachings? Dak'kon waits. I've read The Unbroken Circle. I want to speak to you more about the way of Zerthaman. What did you come to know? Endure. In enduring, grow strong. I learned that sometimes a leader must suffer in order to protect his goals. Never mind. I had other things I would know, Dak'kon. Okay. Probably the first one again, right? Endure. In enduring, grow strong. Which we have heard this mantra before. The words you speak seem to strike Dak'kon strangely. As you speak them, his forehead creases, then resettles into its normal, passive expression. Your will has brought you the knowing of the third circle of Zerthaman. With this knowing, I impart this to you. He takes a circle, and with a deft motion, he twists one of the links, so one of the plates slides forth. He hands the plate to you. Meditate upon its teachings, and the knowing of it shall give you strength. Okay, I will study this circle. Is there any more you can teach me? As you ask the words, you suddenly notice that Dak'kon isn't looking at you. He is holding the unbroken circle in his hands, studying it. His blade has taken on the same texture as the unbroken circle, and Dak'kon suddenly seems older somehow. Dak'kon? Dak'kon's black eyes rise from the circle and look at you. Know that I did not believe you would come to know the teachings of the circle. It is a difficult path you will walk in learning the way of Zerthaman. Is your mind focused on this matter? Yes, I wish to learn more. Dak'kon's fingers feel around the edges of the stone circle, and he twists it clockwise, the links clicking until they have settled into a new configuration. He then reverses the motion, resetting the stone. The next circle of Zerthaman is open to you. Study it, then I will hear your words. Okay. I will do it. I should probably be inscribing these things, huh? Usable only by me. Okay. Third circle. Submerge the will. Okay. Good. And unlock the fourth circle. You slide the plates into the configuration Dak'kon showed you, and a new ring is revealed. The ring carries the same script as you read before with the same geometries. You know the symbols and know you can read them. I will read them. Know that the rising of the people against the Illithid was a thing built upon many 10 turnings of labor. Many of the people were gathered and taught in secret the ways of defeating their Illithid masters. They were taught to shield their minds and use them as weapons. They were taught the scripture of steel, and most importantly, they were given the knowing of freedom. Continue reading. Some of the people learned the nature of freedom and took it into their hearts. The knowing gave them strength. Others feared freedom and kept silent. But there were those that knew freedom and knew slavery, and it was their choice that the people remain chained. One of these was Vilkar. Continue. Vilkar saw no freedom in the rising, but opportunity. He saw that the Illithid had spawned across many of the false worlds. Their worlds numbered so many that their vision was turned only outwards to all they did not already touch. Vilkar's eye saw that much took place that the Illithid did not see. To the rising, the Illithid were blinded. Continue. Vilkar came before his master, the Illithid Zigitaris, with the knowing of the rising. Vilkar added to his chains and offered to be their eyes against the rising. In exchange, Vilkar asked that he be rewarded for his service. The Illithid agreed to his contract. Continue. At the bonding of the contract, a dark time occurred. Many were the betrayals Vilkar committed, and many were the people that the Illithids fed upon to stem the rising. It seemed that the rising would die before it could occur, and the Illithid were pleased with Vilkar's eye. Continue. It was near the end of this dark time when Zerthamon came to know Vilkar's treacheries. In knowing Vilkar's eye, Zerthamon forced the rising to silence itself, so that Vilkar might think at last his treacheries had succeeded, and the rising had fallen. He knew that Vilkar's eye was filled only with the reward he had been promised. He would see what he wished to see. Continue. With greed beating in his heart, Vilkar came upon the Illithid Zigitaris and spoke to his master of his success. He said that the rising had fallen, and the Illithids were safe to turn their eyes outwards once more. He praised their wisdom in using Vilkar's eye, and he asked them for his reward. Continue. In his greed blindness, Vilkar had forgotten the knowing of why the people had sought freedom. He had lost the knowing of what slavery meant. He had forgotten what his Illithid masters saw when they looked upon him, and so Vilkar's betrayal of the people was ended with another betrayal. Vilkar came to know that when Vilkar's eye had nothing left to see, Vilkar's eye was useless. Finish. The Illithid gave to Vilkar his reward, opening the cavity of his skull and devouring his brain. Vilkar's corpse was cast upon the fields of husks, so its blood might water the poison-stemmed grasses. How much of this is canon with, like 5th edition shit that I've recently come into contact with through, like, all of the Illithid shit in Baldur's Gate 3, right? How much of this remains canon and how much has been retconned, right? I'm not even entirely sure what the difference would be between Githyanki and Gith Zerai, right? These seem to be like two different subcultures of the same type of people. Is that right? What would the difference be? Because I would have imagined that by now I would have heard of like a Vlaakith, right? If there were like any amount of crossover here. Very fascinating. I think I remember people telling me, though, that some of the stuff from these older games, in particular this one, had been retconned, and maybe this is some of it, right? Maybe. But even then, there are definitely some clear similarities, whether retconned or no, right? You can see, like, some very clear connective tissue. Connective tissue, eh? Alright, examine the circle. Well, no. I'll slide them closed. Okay. Dak'kon?
What is your will?
There are things I would know, Dak'kon. Okay. Can I talk to you about your teachings? I've read The Unbroken Circle. What did you come to know? Well, it's probably number 1, which has like 6 different lines of text compared to this one, which is barely 2. Okay. When one chooses to see only what is before them, they see only a part of the whole. they are blind, and just as Vilkar was blinded by his promised reward, so were the Illithids blinded to the true rising. For when they heard Vilkar's words, they turned their sight outwards again, didn't they? And the rising was free to strike. When one chooses to see without knowing, they betray themselves. Okay, it's probably the first one. 1,500 XP. Know that you speak truly. Vilkar's eyes blinded both Vilkar and the Illithids. The tentacled ones thought the rising to be no more. When the rising occurred, the ground drank deep of Illithid blood. So was victory born from treachery. It is a curious lesson. Why would it be part of the teachings of Zerthamon? Dak'kon's blade bleeds into a dead night black, and his voice deepens. For a moment you think he's angry, but you're not so sure. There is much about the way of Zerthamon and his path that is different, that is difficult to know. Do you know why Vilkar's Eye is part of the way of Zerthamon? It is part of the telling of how our people came to know freedom. It lets us know that there are those even among the people who are not of the people, and that even in the greatest treachery, a greater knowing may be achieved. Yeah, very, very true. Unfortunately, stuff that you can still see to this day, right, of oppressed or subjugated groups of people of any size or background. There are definitely, right, you find cases where there's people of those groups that will, like, you know, sell out everybody else for a little something something. Very well. You have come to know the fourth circle of Zerthamon. He takes a circle with a deft motion. He twists one of the links so one of the plates slides forth. He hands the plate to you. Meditate upon its teachings, and the knowing of it shall give you strength. Holy shit, there is a fifth one. Are there 6? How many circles are there? Dak'kon's fingers feel around the edges of the stone circle, and he twists it clockwise until the links clicking until they have settled into a new configuration. He then reverses the motion, resetting the stone. The next circle of Zerthamon is open to you. Study it, and then I will hear your words. Okay, very well, I'll do it. And I may as well learn this. Vilkar's Eye. Sure. Okay. Oops, here we go. We're getting, like, quite the lore dump here. I feel like, if I didn't already have some basis of knowing this shit, I would find this incredibly droll. Right? I would find this incredibly boring to read through. The saving grace here is that I have, interest and a yearning to know more about Gith and how they link up with the Illithids and maybe potentially tie into Githyanki culture and, like, on a meta level, how all of this stuff connects with, like, 5th edition stuff that I know from BG3, you know? Conversely, if I had played this game of its time, if I had played, like, D&D or whatever, then I would probably also be into this. If I knew of, like, some of the Planescape lore already, of, like, of Gith and shit like that, I would be into this, right? In another life, I would be into this. But I think if you just pick up this game off of the recommendation of other people and you're like, yeah, this sounds cool. I don't really know much about any of this stuff, but I'm down for, like, a cool, like, heady, sort of talky, thinky, video game CRPG, right? I feel like this would wear on someone like that, right? I feel like you definitely need some sort of preconceived interest in the topic beforehand, which thankfully I have. All right, let's use that. The 5th circle, I'm ready to unlock it. Okay, yep, they're sliding, they're clicking. I know the symbols, I know I can read them. I'm gonna do it, I'm reading them. Zerthamon was the first to know the way of freedom, yet it was not he that first came to know the way of rebellion. Continue reading. The knowing of rebellion came to the warrior queen, Gith. Oh, shit, okay. One of the people. She had served the Illithids upon many of the false worlds as a soldier, and she had come to know war and carried it in her heart. She had come to know how others might be organized to subjugate others. She knew the paths of power, and she knew the art of taking from the conquerors the weapons by which they could be defeated. Her mind was focused, and both her will and her blade were as one. Continue. The turning in which Zerthamon came to know Gith, Zerthamon ceased to know himself. Her words were as fires lit in the hearts of all who heard her. In hearing her words, he wished to know war. He knew not what afflicted him, but he knew he wished to join his blade to Gith. He wished to give his hate expression and share his pain with the Illithid. Continue. Gith was one of the people, but her knowing of herself was greater than any Zerthamon had ever encountered. She knew the ways of flesh. She knew the Illithids, and in knowing herself, she was to know how to defeat them in battle. The strength of her knowing was so great that all those that walked her path came to know themselves. Finish. Gith was but one. Her strength was such that it caused others to know their strength, and Zerthamon laid his steel at her feet. Alright. Dak'kon, let's speak again.
What is your will?
Some things I want to know. Let's talk about your teachings. Dak'kon waits. Let's see. I read the circle. What did you come to know? There is great strength in numbers, but there is great power in one. For the strength of the will of one may gather numbers to it. There is strength not in knowing the self, but knowing how to bring it forth in others. Yeah. Zerthamon learned to join with an even more powerful figure, Gith. Together, the people grew stronger. All right, let's go with the first one, the most philosophical of them, right? 3,000 XP. You have come to know the fifth circle of Zerthamon. With this knowing, I impart this to you. He takes the circle, and with a deft motion, he twists one of the links so one of the plates slides forth. He hands the plate to you. Meditate upon its teachings, and the knowing of it shall give you strength. All right, I would know more. Yep, he rotates, clicks again. Yep, it's open to me. I'll do it. I'll read it. Okay. And the fifth one, Power of One. Oh, he has that one. Copy that. And let's read it again. Hang on, excuse me. I am going to take a quick drink in here, here in real life. Apologies. Okay. Same as before. Unlock the sixth circle. I know the symbols. I know I can read them. I will read them. Upon the blasted plains, Zerthamon told Gith there cannot be two sides. In the wake of his words came war. Continue. Upon the blasted plains, the people had achieved victory over their Illithid masters. They knew freedom. Continue. Yet before the green fires had died from the battlefield, Gith spoke of continuing the war. Many still filled with the bloodlust in their hearts agreed with her. She spoke not merely defeating the Illithids, but destroying all Illithids across the plains. After the Illithids had been exterminated, they would bring war to all other races they encountered. Continue. In Gith's heart, fires raged. She lived in war, and in war she knew herself. All that her eyes saw, she wanted to conquer. Continue. Zerthamon spoke the beginnings of that which was against Gith's will. He spoke that the people already knew freedom. Now they should know themselves again and mend the damage that had been done to the people. Beyond his words were many other hearts of the people who were weary of the war against the Illithid. Know that Gith's heart was not Zerthimon's heart on this matter. She said that the war would continue. The Illithid would be destroyed. Their flesh would be no more. Then the people would claim the false worlds as their own. Gith told Zerthimon that they would be under the same sky in this matter. Their words like bared steel. From Zerthimon came the pronouncement of 2 skies. In the wake of his words came war. Okay. I see, man. We're getting more answers than I thought.
What is your will?
Okay, there are things I would know, Dak'kon. Can you talk about your teachings? I've read it. What did you come to know? I know that Zerthimon's devotion to the people was such that he was willing to protect them from themselves. He knew the Illithids had come not to know themselves in their obsession with control and domination, so he chose to stop Gith before she carried the people to their deaths. There must be balance in all things, or else the self will not hold. Zerthimon learned that even in freedom one must continue fighting for freedom, even within one's own race. I feel like some of these get really close to the philosophical meaning too, right? Like, I feel like, I don't know, in some senses you could easily say that, like, there's great value and wisdom and intelligence in brevity as well as breadth. Anyway, let's go with the first one. 5,000 XP. You have seen the words and know them. Dak'kon's voice slows and his hands grip the edges of the unbroken circle. He twists it clockwise and there is a click as 2 plates slides forth. Dak'kon stares at the 2 plates in his hands. He makes no move to hand them to you. Dak'kon, is that second plate for you? Dak'kon falls silent. His blade has ceased shimmering, the film freezing upon its surface. He is staring at the second plate, paralyzed. Do you know the 6th circle? Dak'kon looks up, but his coal-black eyes do not meet your gaze. No, there is nothing more I may teach you. You know the way as the people know it, and it shall give you the direction by which you may know yourself. That's not what I asked. Do you know the 6th circle or not? Dak'kon is silent for a moment, then speaks, his voice slow and careful. It has come to pass that I do not know the 6th circle of Zerthimon. Once I knew it, but I know now. I only saw the words. Dak'kon's eyes stare through you. That is all. It is my path that I no longer know the way of Zerthimon. Dak'kon, there is one other thing I would know. Why is Vilkar's eye in the circle of Zerthimon? It seems strange. It tells of how the people benefited from a treachery from their own. It seems... Dak'kon's eyes flash. I have told you it is part of the telling of how the people came to know freedom. Do you not listen? His voice flattens as if he is reciting a passage from memory. It tells the people that even in the greatest treachery, a greater knowing may be achieved. It doesn't sound to me like you believe that. I think there's another reason Vilkar's eye is in the circle of Zerthimon. It is set there because of the 6th circle and the pronouncement of 2 skies. It's there to justify Zerthimon's treachery to the people upon the blasted plains. Dak'kon is silent, and his blade bleeds into a dead black, teeth rippling along the edge. He divided the people upon the blasted plains, Dak'kon. He divided your race when they were on the path to victory. I would like to believe that it was because he wished to save the people from themselves, but I don't think you believe that. Dak'kon is silent for a moment. Then he speaks, slowly. I do not know. The Sixth Circle as it is known to others. I fear that the Third Circle, the Fourth Circle, and the Sixth Circle are more closely linked than many know. It is in that knowing that I have lost myself. In the Third Circle, Zerthimon submerged his will to deceive the Illithids. Then, in the Fourth Circle, it speaks of the benefits of treachery. Then in the Sixth Circle, Zerthimon divides his people before they exterminate the Illithids. You think Zerthimon's words may not have been his own? Know my words, and know the wound that lies upon my heart. I fear that when Zerthimon was upon the Pillars of Silence, he did not submerge his will. I fear his will was taken from him by the Illithids. And when he spoke upon the blasted plains, it was their words he spoke. I fear that what he did was not for the people's sake, but for our former masters. It's possible, but no, it doesn't necessarily mean that...
Updated my journal.
Then know this, and speak of it no more. Dak'kon voice is like a knife. Know that I shall never know the truth. There is no resolution to this matter, for I shall never know Zerthimon's heart upon the blasted plains. His coal-black eyes glare at the stone circle in his hand, and so I do not know myself, because of the unbroken circle of Zerthimon. Very well, Dak'kon. We'll discuss this no more. Let's move on. Balance in all things. So are these both duplicates, as far as the description? Yeah. Balance in all things. Okay. What if I try it again? Yeah. Just rereading all of them. Fascinating. Okay. So what do all these things do that I just learned? Submerge the will. When the will is submerged, a new strength is gained. The strength to endure and protect against adversity. With knowing that... Hang on, is this... Okay, no, it's different. With knowing the teachings of the Third Circle of Zerthimon comes greater protection against all forms of attacks. When cast, a magical orb of protective energy arises and protects the recipient from attacks from all directions. It bestows an AC 2 against all attacks and +1 to all save throws for 12 seconds per level of the caster. Vilkar's Eye. Vilkar's Eye is branded upon the one who is foolish enough to cross the caster. Vilkar's short-sightedness becomes the target's vision, and soon the world is muddled and dark. If the targeted creature fails its saving throw at a -1 penalty, the creature will be struck with blindness and suffer a -4 penalty to its attack rolls and a +4 penalty to the target's AC. Power of 1. Balance in all things. Range, caster only. Duration, when hit the same number of times as level per 4. Or 5 seconds per level of caster. What? Speed 3. Area of effect 10-foot radius when activated. Save throw none. From the separation of the people came the knowing of two skies. From the knowing of two skies came the realization that hurting others hurts oneself. This spell only affects the caster. Whenever the caster is attacked, while the spell is in effect, all hostile creatures within a 10-foot radius take equal damage. It lasts for 1 attack per 4 levels of the caster, and the effects are not cumulative. You cannot have more than 1 balance spells erected. If the spell is not triggered, it lasts for 5 seconds per level of the caster. Okay, so it's like a Thorns effect. Okay, and that's everything. Looks like we taught some, yeah. Dak'kon learned a bunch too. Okay. Yeah, there's no mention of, you know what, forewarning here, for the rest of this, we're going to talk a little bit about spoilers for Baldur's Gate 3, right? Not like main plot spoilers, but like spoilers for one of the companions, so, take heed and maybe peace out right now if you don't want to hear anything even remotely. Right, I wouldn't say it's a full-on spoiler, but it's definitely, like, if you want to go in completely blank, I wouldn't want to hear it. Anyway. To get to it now, that we've given enough warning. There's no mention of Orpheus in any of this, right? Is Zerthamon Orpheus? I know Orpheus is called the Prince of the Comet, but how does Orpheus tie into any of this? Is that like new retcon stuff? Orpheus isn't Zerthamon, right? Is Orpheus like the child of Zerthamon and Gith? Mother Gith? Right? I assume Gith is meant to be Vlaakith, or a form of Vlaakith, because aren't there like hundreds of Vlaakiths from like going back years and years? But the most recent incarnation of Vlaakith is like thousands of years old or something like that? Through magic? Dude, I'm coming to really like Gith Yankee and Gith Sarai lore. I don't know, it's kind of making me want to do a BG3 playthrough playing as like a Gith Yankee. Right? This game's kind of fucking me up a bit, kind of fucking my plans up a bit. Anyway. Good lord. Can I swap back to fighter, I guess? Okay, let's see here.
Endure. In enduring, grow strong. What is your will?
There are things I would know, Dak'kon. Okay, can I talk about your teachings? Hang on, never mind. Hang on, let me quick save here. If I do forcibly talk to you about this stuff, are you gonna get pissed? Let's loop back to it. I've read The Unbroken Circle. I want to talk to you about this stuff. No, never mind. Okay, teachings. I wish to give up my current profession and resume the study of weaponcraft, Dak'kon. Can you train me? Dak'kon's blade slides from his shoulder into his hand, like water, and its edges take on a dangerous sheen. We shall show steel without anger. You shall know the way of weapons again. Very well. At the end of your sparring session, you find yourself slipping into the mantle of the warrior easily. Dak'kon slides his blade from his grip and rests it on his shoulder. You learn quickly. You learn quickly. When war comes, it will find you ready. Okay. Other things I would like to know. So can you just teach me how to swap classes again? Oh yeah. Resume the study of art. Okay. Can you teach me anything of weaponcraft, Dak'kon? No, same. Okay. Never mind, let's go. Oh, and I don't have a level anymore. Do I level each one of these separately? Right, like, if I swapped over to mage, would I be a level 6 mage? How does it fucking work? Hang on, let's find out. I've just quick saved. Let's do some testing.
What is your will?
Things I would know. Teachings. Resume the study of the art. Dak'kon's blade slides from his grip and he moves it in front of him in a circular motion. We shall recite the teachings. You shall know the ways of the art again. Very well. At the end of your teaching session, you find yourself slipping into the mantle of the mage easily. Dak'kon nods. You learn quickly. You are now ready to summon your will against your foes. Alright, let's move on. So now, I'm a level 1 mage. Okay. Now I'm a level 5 one. How does it work then? I didn't quite go all the way up to 6. Maybe the one that you're actively gaining XP in has a 1 level advantage over all the others. Maybe that's it? Maybe? Huh. Okay, I'm gonna quick load. Fascinating. Let me re-equip my crap here too. That's the only unfortunate thing, is that we unequip fucking everything, right? Or at least my weapons. Thank God my actual inventory stuff doesn't get unequipped. I bet it would, though. Right, if I had tattoos or whatever that were applicable only to a specific class, I bet it would. Okay. Okay, that'll do. Let's head over here. Holy shit. My God, I didn't anticipate all that. Okay, let's head over to, I guess, the trash warrens, right? Do I have anything else I need to tend to? Find Emerise for Nod, but I don't think I've met this person yet, have I? I still have to help out Requind with the Curse of Stench in the upper wards. Spell Ruby. Find out where Farad's corpses are coming from. Okay. So let's finally go up here. Good, good, good. Okay. In learning more as well about Mother Gith, that extra highlights for me kind of the it lends me to, it gives me a greater appreciation for the parallels there with what Larian did with Lae'zel's writing, right? Her character writing, and how it's a parallel to some of like greater Githyanki and Githzerai culture, right? Anyway, thrust the junk into the archway. This is where I want to go, right? Yeah, wishes me out right there. The underbelly of this platform is thick with razor vine. It looks like it is holding the platform together. In we go. Oh! It's Animoli! A ragged, middle-aged collector approaches as you enter the area. He quickly looks you over and then sneers. Don't know you. Greetings. I'm just passing through. Ignore the collector and continue on. Well, hello. The collector continues to glare at you. I'm looking for a man named Farad. Have you seen a journal lying around here? Is there a problem? Ignore the collector and continue on. Do we have a problem? The problem, as I be seeing it... Oh, no, wait, this is the first, like... Oh, no, wait, this is a collector, not a dustman. My bad. The problem, as I be seeing it, Burke, is that you continue to breathe in my presence. He spits. If you don't let me pass, collector, one of us is going to the mortuary, and it won't be me. Collecting bodies before they're dead sounds like a good way to meet the lady. Then I'll leave your presence, Burke. Huh. Attack the collector. Ignore the collector and continue on. Collecting bodies before they're dead sounds like a good way to meet the lady. You seem to talk some sense into the collector as he turns away from you. Watch your back, cutter. Most here will duck to you with their blades before their bone box, and if you stay much longer, I'll be doing the same. Whatever, asshole. What's this thing? Looks like these piles of rags are used as beds. And all these assholes here for real. Trash Warren's thug. Are they gonna aggro onto me if I get close? Let's try and talk to one.
Shivers Garters! What be this foul-smelling thing?
Looks like one of the Dusty's corpses done ran off.
The man chortles evilly.
Mayhap we ought to roll the sorry corpse and drag it back in for a reward, eh?
He looks to his friend and waggles his eyebrows. Very amusing. Now get out of my way. Move out of the way or I'll kill both of you. I don't want any trouble, just let me pass. Moan like an undead creature. I don't want any trouble, just let me pass.
No trouble? Well, that's too bad, 'cause you just ran right smack into some.
Both men draw their knives. Flee, fight them. Alright, let's fuck them up.
What's up? You blathering.
Whoa! They're all going buck wild here. Okay. Shit, the collector's in? Okay, fuck it. Let's fucking murder everybody, I guess.
It's just begging to be kicked. Filthy stinkers.
Okay.
Yeah? Prime scum.
Damn.
There we go.
Endure. In enduring, grow strong.
Alright. Do a little inventory management here. Great. Okay.
Done.
Anything else here of interest? What is this? Can I go back this way? No. The walls of these trash warrens are made of junk, crushed together by the weight of the mountains of garbage above. This looks like it was part of some permanent structure, perhaps buried in the surrounding trash. Where does all the trash even come from? Right, it seems like a lot of people here don't have much. Where's it even come from in the first place? Through the portals maybe everywhere? Anything in this? Oh, there is actually a bunch of stuff in here. Dustman Embalming Charm, Lesser. Invokes Embalming Minor. Usable only on Nameless One and Mort. This strange metal bracelet has... Oh wait, we've got this, don't we? Yeah. Odd that Mort can use it too, huh? I feel like, isn't that a little odd? That telling? They're trying to hint at something? No, it only stacks up so much. Okay. Very well. Well, maybe I should learn all this crap on Dak'kon, right? I'm gonna do it, fuck it. Fist of Iron. Scroll of Armor. Strength. Chromatic Orb. Adder's Kiss. Okay. Very well.
Done.
Let's search this northerly section here. Got some junk. Yoink. Popping that in there.
Done.
Looks like a dead end. Okay, let's head further southward. Looks like it was part of some permanent structure. Weight of the mountains of garbage above. Oh. Here's some more Trash Warren's thugs.
What's up, Chief?
It's Tango.
Filthy sod.
Damn.
Slattern.
Damn.
Okay.
Die.
What a perfectly good waste of arms and legs. What's the word, Chief? Your sheer ugliness stabs pain into my eyes.
Great, and one more. Lovely.
I hear your words.
Are these worth anything? I have no idea. The jagged knives.
All right.
Okay, more trash all over town. Is this a path? God, it is. We're thugs. They don't want to fight me on sight. It's an improvement. Having a tough time as I'm uncovering the fog of war, determining where I can even walk. Cranium rat charm. Oh yeah, we've read about those. High quality stiletto. Cranium rat tail. Okay.
I will hear your will be done.
What's up? Okay.
I'm gone.
Okay, and then, how about up here? Is this a path? No, it's not. Okay. Well, let's travel this direction. Oh, fuck. What was that? Mort got hit by something. Okay. Well, let's go down this way. Over here. Another angry collector. Who are you? Help! Maybe I shouldn't have attacked that one. I don't know, they were lit up red. They were lit up red!
Yeah?
Okay.
Filthy stinkers. Yeah?
Damn. Die.
What?
Okay, let's try and get taunts on everybody.
Filthy stinkers. What's up, Chief? Choke on a bone, you witless ape. What's the word, Chief?
Ooh, what was that? Mort's spell has been disrupted. Oh, because of trying to do Litany of Curses, it counted as a spell that got interrupted.
In knowing the teachings of Zerthamon, I have become stronger.
Done.
Did you see that?
Okay.
Balance in all things.
What's up?
Oh man, I'm full of shit. Okay, well, what can you do? Do I have extra room anywhere for any of these things? I do. Quick item slots. Move this up and over there. Great. Put that up top. Actually, I'll put that right there. How high does the clot charm even stack up to? My god.
All right.
Okay. What all else do we have around here? Oh, I should probably
It is
level up
I.
Dak'kon.
My blade has shifted.
Fighter mage. Save throws improved, fighting skills improved. Dak'kon's weapon has changed. Oh. 5 HP, 1 HP from con bonus. How did your weapon change? Not sure. Memorize 1 additional first level mage spell? Maybe that's it? Yeah, maybe. Okay. What should I teach him? Fist of Iron seems alright. Or I could just do more Identify. Reign of Anger is good too. I mean, they're all decent.
All right.
We don't find that many unidentified objects, though. Don't think it's too bad. A buried villager. Uninjured. Running away from me. This looks like it was part of some permanent structure, perhaps buried in the surrounding trash. Okay. Anything over here? Is this a dead limb? Where the fuck am I going? More trash-worn thugs, instantly aggroed on. Quite a few pop out at once. It's gotta be said.
Filthy stinkers. What a perfectly good waste of arms and legs. Huh?
Okay.
Joke on a bone, you witless ape.
Die.
What a perfectly good waste of arms and legs.
Die.
What?
Great. Okay, and then I can't really carry any of this other junk, can I? No.
Endure. In enduring, grow strong. I hear your words.
I don't know if the jagged knives are worth anything, but I'll take them. On the off chance that they are. Looks like there's nothing down here. Okay. Yep. Crushed together by the weight of the mounds of garbage above. Over here. Bish. Hello. As you enter the room, a large, heavy-set man gets up from his chair and approaches you.
Hello there, name's Bish. Who might you be?
I have no name. Lie. My name is Adon. None of your business. Ignore the man and continue on. I have no name.
What you mean you don't have a name? You just come back from stick swimming, you clueless sod?
You notice Bish slowly moving his hand towards his weapon.
You're just not telling me. Hiding something, methinks.
Look, I'm telling you the truth. I don't know my name. Lie. Okay. My name is Adon. I just want to pass through. If you don't stand aside right now, there'll be hell to pay. I'm looking for a man named Ferret. I'm looking for a journal. None of your business. Attack Bish, ignore Bish, and continue on. Okay, my name is Adon.
What?
Bish stares blankly at you, then shakes his head violently.
I never seen you before. And Ferret didn't tell me about no Adon coming around.
You notice his hand moving slowly towards his weapon.
You best be telling me what you're doing here, Buck.
I'm looking for a man named Ferret. I'm looking for a journal. None of your business. I just want to pass through. If you don't stand aside right now, there'll be hell to pay. Attack Bish. Ignore Bish and continue on. I am looking for Ferret.
If Ferret was wanting to see you, I'd know about it.
Bish suddenly draws his weapon.
I'm tired of playing guessing games with you, Burke. I'll just loot your dead body for answers.
I don't think so.
Mort, like Latin. For death. She has the personality of a patch of razor vine and twice as ugly.
I will hear you.
Okay, let's try... I would like to use the magic. Oh, here we go. Great.
Women are the reason I became a monk. You dog's body.
I'm hurt.
Jesus Christ, man. I'm gonna get my shit shoved in here.
You see that?
Balance in all things.
Okay.
You know what? We should get some female zombies that are fake. Just poor begging to be kicked and doing well.
Damn.
Talk
Oh,
about
fuck.
keeping a dead horse.
Worse than
Oh,
last
fuck, we're
time.
back here. Oh, look. Poor Dak'kon is back here, too. Oh, my corpse didn't get picked. I still have all my shit. I bet Dak'kon doesn't, though. Who is Marta? Oh my god, wait, where am I? Hold up. This ain't the fucking mortuary at all. Uh-oh. Okay. Well, how about that? Back to the buried village. Okay. Well, holy shit. Good thing, I guess we died, right? Just ended up paying off. I suppose when next we return, we're gonna have to figure out what the fuck is going on and where we are. Who's this old lady? Why is there so much gore everywhere? Until next time, please take care of each other.